Hey, this is Dani. The channel's You and Me Living Free, and I'm here at home in my driveway. I've been here a few weeks, and so I want to take another trip, and I'm going to try to get the van ready. I haven't even been in this van for a few weeks because when I get home, I try to drive my regular car, my Camry, so that I don't put all the miles on the van. And plus, I love driving my Camry. Plus, it kind of almost feels like I'm driving a sports car. After spending so much time in the van, even the Camry feels like a sports car. Anyway, I love driving my Camry. But I'm excited to get back in my van. But I decided I would just look today and see what I'm kind of dealing with. Because usually when I come home from a trip, I bring everything in from the van and I pile it all up. And I go through all the food and throw out anything or put the rest of things like in my cabinet so I can use it while I'm home. I usually pull everything in, and then I have this certain area kind of in the living room, kind of behind the couch, where we'll kind of stack stuff and just wait till my next trip. And I clean everything out really well and, you know, wash all the bedclothes and everything like that. Well, this trip I came home and immediately my daughter was graduating from college. We had a big party, so I brought in a few critical things and most of it I left out here. Or I carried in, got what I needed, and then carried back out here, which was kind of inefficient, but whatever. So now I'm taking a look at the van and I need to get this thing ready to leave for a trip in a couple days. So I thought I would take you with me and kind of show you what goes into it. It's a lot of work, but once I start getting excited about where I'm going, then this work isn't that big of a deal. So let me turn around the camera and show you what I'm dealing with here. Okay, first of all, it's filthy. It's so dirty on the outside. Okay. Now, so far so good, right? I carried in all the crap from the front seat, so the front seat is actually nice, which is rare. Once I get ready to go, the front seat gets full. And then you can see I'm just kind of unorganized. It's actually not that bad, but I need to carry in some of this stuff, like my bedclothes and everything, and really just get organized. Okay, here's another view when I'm a little further along. I've cleaned out some stuff. I'm bringing some stuff back in. My bedclothes are clean. Those are clean sheets. I'm going to bring out a different Sherpa blanket. So what I want to do right now is I want to take a few minutes and tell you what am I leaving at home this trip that I'm not going to use. Because as you go ahead and start van life, things change and your needs change. And some of the things you thought were going to be essential aren't. And you might need things that you don't have. So anyway, I'm going to walk through that for you in just 1 second. Here we go. Okay, here's a picture of the pile of all the stuff that I am leaving home this time and not taking with me. And then I'll pull out some of the individual photos and tell them. First of all, my Sherpa blanket, it's right here up front. Let me ask, how much do you have to love something before you have it in two different sizes? I have the same blanket in a 60-inch and a 50-inch. The 50-inch is big enough to cover me when the temperatures at night are, let's say, 50 degrees and above. It keeps me plenty warm. If they're lower than that, then I want the big Sherpa blanket. And so for this trip, I'm throwing out the big one, bringing in the little one, just a little helpful piece of information. I'm also removing my down blanket, and this I definitely don't need unless it gets under 40 degrees, so it can stay home. This is a lovely little table. It's used as a lap table, but I use it for everything in the van. I use it for food prep and everything. It's completely adjustable. You can even make one side shorter than the other, which helps if you have an uneven flooring. I love this, but it was taking up a little too much space, and I have another table that I'm using. Also, I started using my cooler for my stove and for food prep space, so I don't need as many tables. Even as I'm sitting here making this video, I'm thinking maybe I'll throw it back in the van because it is so versatile. Maybe I'll regret not taking it on this trip, but I am going to leave it home just this time. Next is this awesome sun cover thing that you use mostly at the beach. It actually takes up quite a bit of space, so I'm leaving it home. Here's the picture of it from my room just to give you an idea. That little yellow lid on the container behind it is 12 inches tall. So it actually sticks up maybe 18 inches or so, and it's kind of awkward in the van. Anyway, space is limited. So if it's not going to be really useful, I'm going to leave it home like I'm doing with this giant pop-up. So when I bought this pop-up, the idea was I could have it outside of my van, put it up. I could go to the bathroom in it, and I could shower in it. Well, it doesn't work for either one of those things for me and for the way I van life. I discovered that I like to have my toilet right next to my bed because I get up in the middle of the night and I just like it in the van and it works better. And number two, I don't shower when I'm out either. I've found really good methods for taking a baths and getting really clean inside the van. And when I want to shower, I go to Planet Fitness or I go to a truck stop or I go to a campground. So that means this is not critical and it stays home, maybe permanently. I want to mention I have a new Amazon link. It's a little Amazon store kind of thing, but I'll put the link in the description where you can go onto my van life stuff and get literally like everything I have in my van I've gotten on Amazon for better or for worse. So I have links in there to all of it. I'm also just showing you the back here. This is what it looks like. I love as much open space as I possibly can have. The Sherpa blanket's really the only thing I have with a really strong, colorful pattern, and then everything kind of works around it. I just find that in this very, very small space, I like things neutral and I like things open. And we are heading out of town and I'm so excited. And it just occurred to me that this is the first year seeing my super blonde hair. So it's quite shocking, actually. Maybe it's a little much for one video to go from the other to this, but you know, if you can't experiment with your hair when it's super short, then when can you? Well, you can't. It's just, when your hair is super short, it's such a good time to experiment and just try fun things or do whatever, because you know that in a couple of months it'll grow out an inch and then you can just buzz it down to an inch again and then you start all over. And yeah, I didn't realize how light it was gonna be. And that's okay. It's got a little bit of a yellow tint and it feels a lot of white and a little bit of yellow tint. But anyway, it's fine. And it's doing like whatever it wants this morning. I was trying to kind of pull the bangs down. Oh goodness, enough talk about my hair, right? Okay, moving on from other topics besides my hair. I'm so happy to be leaving town, and I also feel good because I delayed leaving a couple of days because I wanted to get more stuff done around the house. I wanted to have the van in really good, like perfectly clean and organized. I'm ready to go, and I have done all of that. And I'm so excited. Every time I get to leave town, I usually cry. I usually am crying as I'm leaving town. Here I go, starting right now. Just because it's such a huge privilege to be able to do it. You know, it's such a huge privilege to be able to have this freedom right now. So let's do this. I am headed straight across I-70 West from Kansas to Colorado. I have a friend who's a photographer who went through Kansas, and she said all she did was take pictures of the sky. And this is why. When you are with this open space, you can see everything. And we went from this beautiful day to you can see some thunder and some clouds off in the distance. Now they're coming up. We went through this weather, which I didn't video any of when we're actually going through it because the rain was actually quite strong. And then here's us on the other side where it is sunny and beautiful again. And I could just look at these clouds all day. They are gorgeous. It's fun. The sky is blue. The fields are green. And then the fields also have some wheat. So there's some creaminess, you know, some of that wheat color and some green and some blue. It's still beautiful. I find that I can find beauty almost anywhere I am. And it wouldn't be a video if I wasn't saying thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Anyone who is here right now, I send you tremendous thank yous. And to my patrons, even above and beyond, I love you. I thank you so much for the support. And I'm going to share a few more pictures of Kansas as we close out. There are a few really prominent things as you drive across Kansas. One is the open sky and the flatness. Another is all the windmills. There are tons of windmills. Some people think they're an eyesore, but I think they're kind of cool. Okay, that's it for me. Enjoy your day. The next time you see me, I'll be in Colorado. Love you. Bye.